Hi, how are you doing today?
I couldn't do better.
Could do better.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you showing up today. I know sometimes when we're not really feeling like we want to talk or engage with others, it shows a lot of courage and just resilience for you to show up. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, before we start, Tana, I just want to go over a little bit of confidentiality. Is this a term that you've heard of before?
Hmm.
Okay, so kind of still, I don't know where you maybe have heard it or what they've told you, but everything between us is safe unless there is an intent to either harm others or harm yourself. Then, because I am a mandated reporter, I do have to either reach out to a family member or potential police or anything of that sort based on how severe the matter is. Is that okay with you, or do you have any questions about that?
That's okay with me, and I have no question.
Okay, sounds good. Then, are you feeling comfortable and ready if we start?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, if you wouldn't mind telling me maybe a little bit about uh, why you're maybe in here today, or maybe some of the reasons that brought you here today.
Yeah, so my mom brought me in because I just haven't been myself recently. I've been like kind of self-isolating. I don't really spend time with my family. I can't, or I sleep most of the day whenever I can. I have racing thoughts. I can't seem to get my mind off of certain things, and part of me just wonders what it would be like to not have to worry about the responsibilities anymore.
Yeah. Sounds like you're kind of going through a lot of different things all at the same point in time. It seems like we're having a lot of racing thoughts, we're struggling kind of with like maybe some activities that we used to be pretty comfortable doing. I am a bit curious when you say more racing thoughts. Is that about any particular matter? Um, or is it kind of just racing thoughts about everything going on?
Well, I have a lot going on. I have work on top of school, on top of family responsibilities. I don't hang out with anybody. Um, and yeah, I'm just still numb.
No. Okay. And when you say still numb, would you mind kind of expanding on that or kind of like sharing what you mean by that?
Yeah, the reason why I don't hang out with anybody is because my only friend decided not to be here anymore, and she committed suicide
Mm.
almost a year ago.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sure that was an incredibly and still difficult time for you right now. Yeah. And if you don't mind me asking, you said it was like your only friend really at that moment, so I'm assuming you guys were pretty close.
Yeah, we practically grew up together. She lived a few houses down from me. She's practically like a sister. Yeah, we grew up together. We did everything. She told me everything. I told her everything.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of our major milestones together. Like we
Mm.
turned 16 together a few years ago, and 18 and 21, and
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like there were a lot of good memories that you guys had.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I know you kind of said this happened a year ago. When this all kind of happened, I'm sure, of course, it was just devastating and really hard on you, as it would be for anyone. Were you able to, in some ways, find some ways of coping? Did we maybe go see any specialists, kind of talk some or talk to people with it? Or have we kind of just been dealing more with these feelings without really sharing it with anyone and holding it more to ourselves?
I feel like after the funeral happened, no one really talked about it. It was shameful, or it is still shameful. Like her parents don't really talk about her or what happened. Um, and it's kind of like she never really existed. So there's really no one I can talk to. Um, and I guess wasn't that bad than what I then. So there's
Yeah.
no need.
I bet it's still hard though to kind of almost feel like she was erased when she was such a big part of your life. Yeah. Is she someone that you enjoy talking about or still someone you think about quite often?
So she's definitely someone who I think about a lot,
Hmm.
because she doesn't have any responsibilities that I have. She doesn't have to navigate this world without her best friend. Like I'm on my own. And so sometimes I just think that it'd be easier to join her than to just keep doing life.
Yeah. So would you say that you have maybe had some active thoughts about harming yourself?
No, I mean, yes and no. Not anything specific, but if, like, say, something were to happen, I wouldn't necessarily stop it.
Yeah, you wouldn't fight against it. You kind of be like, this is just what's gonna happen.
Hmm.
Okay. And how long have these thoughts maybe been happening? Maybe these, because kind of what it's sounding like is it's not like you're like, oh, I really, really just want to be dead. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna do this. It's more like, man, I wish everything around me would just kind of just stop right now. Is
Hmm.
that kind of correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I then a few months after her death, I started thinking about it, like,
Okay.
but now it's becoming like more intense because it's coming up to a year
Yeah,
since she died. So,
that can be really hard. Have you been feeling like a lot of those original symptoms you were presenting have become like a lot more increased? Just like those kind of feelings like, oh man, I wish some things would just happen. Like, I wish I kind of didn't have to do all of this. Like, it'd be nice to kind of just join her. Do you think those are happening more frequently now that it's coming up on that 1 year anniversary?
hmm.
Okay. And have you ever self-harmed before or injured yourself in any way before?
No, no,
No.
not, I mean, like, like, no, not really. Nothing like intentional. Like,
Intentional to be like, I want to cause myself harm.
yeah, it'd be
Just
like
like little acts.
scraping my knee. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And those things
accidentally.
happen all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And if you were kind of feeling like when you're in those moments when you're like, yeah, I don't want these responsibilities anymore. I just want to be down in the ground again, and I just want to be with her at peace. Um, how would you go about that?
I don't really know. I I mean, yeah, I know. I've seen movies where like they like slit their wrists and like are in a bathtub or whatever and they like bleed out, but that doesn't really feel like a good solution. Not, I mean, not really.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy that you kind of see that and are like, ah, I wouldn't want to do that. That is a very promising thing to hear too. Um, So yeah, it sounds like you're definitely going through a lot of different motions. It's not, I would say, like, I don't want you to feel like it's uncommon, especially when something so big happens to yourself. It can definitely just feel like I just want everything around me to just stop right now. Um, do you mind if I kind of ask you just a few questions just to get a more baseline for further treatment to kind of just see where we are so that we can kind of come up with like the best solution for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you 9 questions. It's on something called the Patient Health Questionnaire or PHQ 9, if you've ever um, heard that. or have done one of those before. But it's going to ask you 9 questions, and then you're just going to tell me if you feel it not at all, several days, more than half the days, or nearly every day. You can also do just give me a 0, 1, 2, 3 as well. Um, if you just don't really feel like you want to say all of that. Once again, it's not at all for 0. Several days was a 1, more than half the days is 2, and then nearly every day is 3.
Okay.
But I can repeat those if you have any questions. Uh, all right. If you are good to start, or you feeling good? Okay, perfect. Um, Over the last 2 weeks, and I know especially within that 1 year, how often have you felt like you've had little interest or pleasure in doing things?
3,
3. Okay. How often do you feel down, depressed, or kind of just hopeless about things?
3,
3. Okay. Do you have any trouble falling asleep, or do you maybe sleep a little too much, or kind of not what you're used to?
3,
3. Okay. Do you feel tired or feel like you have little energy?
2,
2. Okay. Has there been any changes in your appetite, either not eating as much or maybe overeating?
3.
3. Okay. And have you been a bit more overeating or undereating, would you say?
Undereating.
Undereating? Okay. How often have you been feeling more bad about yourself or that you're a failure, of let yourself or your family down?
2,
2. Okay. How often do you have trouble concentrating on things such as daily tasks or watching television or talking with others?
3.
3. Okay. Just 2 more. You're doing great. Um, do you ever feel like you are either moving or speaking super slowly that um, people have that kind of notice that you're slowed down in your speech, or the opposite, where you're just super, super chatty or super fidgety to other people in your life have noticed?
Probably a 2.
2. Okay.
Mhm.
And then last question here. Have you ever, or over the last 2 weeks, have you had thoughts that you'd be better off dead or hurting yourself in some way?
2.
Okay. All right. Well, that completes that one. I appreciate you sharing that. I know sometimes it can feel really kind of just awkward and vulnerable, so I really appreciate that. That was just a baseline for me to kind of work with that. That we'll pull up in later sessions, to kind of talk about it, but I just kind of wanted to see kind of where we are today a little bit. Um, I want to just go over, I know we kind of went over a bit more of the history of things, but I also just want to make sure that you're safe and that you feel safe leaving this office and can be safe until the next time we meet, just since you did say that you had some thoughts of kind of just wishing you were dead in a way. Um, so is it okay if I just ask you some questions about that?
Mhm.
Okay. So I would say, how often or consuming are those thoughts when you're kind of wishing you weren't alive anymore?
It, the thoughts are pretty like consistent and very overwhelming. Even when I try to like think about something else, it always just kind of circles back around. Yeah, and it's most of what fills my mind
Okay,
recently.
sounds good. And even if we're kind of having those thoughts or thinking about like, oh, I just wish I wasn't here anymore, there's never been like maybe an active intent of I'm gonna go grab that or I'm gonna go do this to harm myself.
No, there
No.
really hasn't.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Is there anything in your house for you that if you had to think like, this is what I would use if I didn't want to be here anymore? Have we ever thought about that or not really?
Not really. I mean, the only thing that I thought about is like someone smothering me with a pillow, but that would require another person.
Yeah.
So,
And hopefully there's no one in the house that would. do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, let me look here. So just want to reiterate too, when you are feeling all of these and just feeling like I don't want to be alive anymore, it kind of also just sounds like it's not like I really want to die. I don't have this plan. I don't know how I do it. I don't know when I would do it, or what day I would do it. There's no actually intent of it. It's more just like I just want all of these feelings to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like you also just have a lot of pressure going around. You said responsibilities and expectations of yourself. So it just seems like you kind of want those things to just start kind of getting off your back a little bit.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, but like I said, you've never intentionally hurt yourself, anything of that sort.
Hmm.
Okay. Have you ever done anything that would maybe prepare, like writing a note at all? Just like potentially before, just saying like maybe writing a goodbye note, anything of that sort?
No, I've like looked at photos to see which ones I'd want to be published if I were to die. But like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Just a few more questions and we'll kind of wrap up here. Um, do you have anyone that you can kind of lean on? I know you said that people don't really talk about it, but anyone you feel like I can sit down and talk to this person if I'm starting to have these thoughts.
Yeah, my best friend's brother, he we've talked about it a little bit. He kind of feels the same way as I do.
Okay.
And he misses her. And yeah,
Okay.
I think we feel the same about his sister. So,
Hmm. Do you think maybe during this kind of 1 year anniversary, that's maybe something that we can try to do is maybe just meet up with him for a little bit so you can kind of be kind of in that space with someone who you kind of feel like is going through the same thing you are?
mhm. Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Okay. Is that something that you feel like is achievable for yourself to be able to reach out?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, sounds good. I will wrap things up here. I really appreciate you kind of sharing all that vulnerability. I think a lot of the things that you have talked about are uh, definitely normal. I don't want you to think like this is strange or I just feel off. And I definitely think these are things that if we work on it together, we can definitely start to manage some of these symptoms. Would you like to set up another appointment? I can send out some emails with some times for the following weeks.
That'd be good. Hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate just getting to know you and talk to you a bit, and I will talk to you later.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.